So this particular Lagos traffic thing is just crazy, man. I'm stunned. You know, I live in the East, and you know, where I live, we don't have issues with traffic. You know, we don't even know what traffic gridlock looks like or feels like. Even on a very good day when you have rush hour, you know, within 45 minutes, 1 hour, you know, you're done, whatever it is that is happening, you know. And in fact, if it's beginning to be beyond 1 hour, security agencies will be alerted, governor's office will be alerted. That's how crazy it is, you know, in the East. I mean, it's that much okay when it comes to traffic situation is not that as much as Lagos. But this thing I'm seeing in Lagos is it's scary. Are you kidding me? You guys are spending 12 hours in one day. So how many hours one day for one day? I see different people shouting that they have been spending 12 hours. Ali Baba said he spent in fact his fuel finished on traffic.
All right, so I finally made it to my office. Ran out of fuel. Yomi and Shina, China, MC China, so they had to bring fuel for me by law school. It was 12 hours 47 minutes. Yeah, just we need trains in Lagos. We need trains, underground trains, overhead trains. We just need trains, overhead trains, especially since Lagos is a coastal area, so digging under the ground will have a lot of water, so we need overhead trains. That's the only way. Overhead trains, that's the only way. Ekoshimada Otindabo.
I can imagine some persons did not move from island to the mainland, and you know how Lagos is. You can be living in the mainland and then be working on the island, and then maybe you are looking to leave office by say 4 or 5 and then to arrive at home, let's say 10, you know. But I can't even imagine it. How do you work in island and stay in the mainland, and then you spend 5 to 6 hours on traffic every day of your life? And that 5 to 6 hours is not, you're not counting the going to work, or you're just counting coming. It's madness, really. And I'm just seeing somebody describing their movement just on island alone. I cannot relate. You know, when I stay in the traffic in the East, on a regular day for 15-20 minutes, I start getting agitated. I start getting mad, like, what's going on? You know, and sometimes I even put a call across to a few persons and say, look, oh, there's traffic here and it's not looking good, you know. So, and maybe they come around and they send people to come and check it out, you know, the police, VIO, and even the latest now that the governor has introduced, the DRS, Distress Response Team. We tend to, because of how privileged we are in terms of knowing them and being a journalist by virtue of that, you know, so I tend to meet some of these people, and when there are issues, I tend to call and all that. But it's not the same for Lagos. Lagos is that massive. Lagos is two or three countries in one place. For a place that is around 25-30 million, what do you expect? How big is Ghana? What's the population of Ghana? Go and check. Ghana is no more than 30 million. The entire Ghana. Where was that? Togo, Benin Republic, Niger, Burundi, Burkina Faso. Go and check how many, what is the population of those countries? That's Lagos. Lagos alone is like 2 or 3 countries in one. So when they say they are closing a place that's as huge, as important as that road, they want to close it for repairs, they didn't think it through. You didn't do that during the public holidays. You didn't do that you didn't say, okay, we're going to close a portion of the road, because that's what I see they do. They close a portion, and then they work on one portion and allow motorists to pass on that particular portion so that they can repair it. But no, government wants to do everything in one fell swoop. was unfortunate, really. I mean, and within 24 hours, it's not up to 24 hours, they tend to call it. Kudos to the Minister for Works, Umahi. Kudos to the Governor of Lagos State, apologizing for what has happened. But I think we should learn a lesson from this. So government knows that sometimes when some of their policies are thrown at us and then it becomes uncomfortable, they see that it's uncomfortable, they tend to rescind it immediately. Within 24 hours. You see how important it is for us to sometimes not just speaking up, but doing something about it, acting in that moment to show our disgust about what's going on. The lady the other day, Raye, TikTok lady, the core member, who protested and said she's dying. She doesn't understand 33,000 naira that the NYS is giving them, and that they promised them 7,000 naira, and called out the government, even called the government terrible. What happened? A few days after, the federal government said, I beg, release this fund. I'm not in, whatever people are doing. So it means that they were aware. It took that rant of Raye, 30 days challenge, for them to now start releasing 77,000 naira now. People, they say they are releasing, so they're now receiving 77,000 naira. So Raye had to do a 30-day challenge, or had to come out to speak for government to listen. It took just one person. So why do we think that look, let me tell you, government around the world exists because of the citizenry. The citizens are the reason why government exists. It's not the other way around. Somebody have to take the bull by the horn. Somebody has got to lead. Somebody has got to move. Somebody has got to say, okay, I am a better person in terms of management of resources. I'm a better person in terms of distribution of resources. I'm a better person in terms of giving out the best in terms of empathy, resource allocation, basically, in general terms. I'm a better person. And then we go for a vote, and then we vote somebody. And the reason why humans have leaders, specifically political leaders, is because they want their citizenry to be better. They want their citizens to be to grow in the economy, be prosperous in the economy, and live well. As soon as the government introduces a particular policy that doesn't go down well with the people, they see the people reject it, they resist it, they go back and redo whatever policy that they have done. Why are we not doing the same thing for other things? Other things like just name it. Other things like the subsidy that they removed. At the very best, subsidy would have been removed gradually, not at once. What has this done? Inflation got to as high as 45%. Food prices was as high as 50%. Forget that thing they're telling you, NBS is shouting you 35, 32, 33. That it was way beyond, because I mean, I go to the market. I know the amount of money that I buy staple food, and the amount of money that, I now buy it a year or 2 years after. So you can't be telling me food inflation, food that I eat, that I buy every day. You are telling me the price of you are the one telling me the inflation. I will tell you my own, because it's me that is affecting. Why are we not applying the same thing, the same anger, the same gridlock, the same anguish when it comes to other things, especially this thing called what was it? This thing that they introduced, removal of fuel subsidy. Why are we not applying that and even in other things? If your removal of fuel subsidy, OGA, is not working for us, please rescind it. That's what we are asking for. Or you negotiate and say we will remove it gradually. You come out and explain. The Nigerian population have been taken for granted for so long, and it looks like it has become a norm. Nigerians have been reduced to the normalcy of misgovernance or maladministration, And so because of that, anything that's thrown at them, they chest it, they hold it. They say whatever happens, happens. I mean, as long as I can feed, I can, at least my family is okay. Come on, man. We should do better than this. These guys are human beings. And if you, how many people are in government? From the state government all the way up to the presidency. How many of them compared to over 200 million persons? I'm asking, how many are they? Are they up to 5,000? Are the people who are in government ruling Nigeria, from the local governments, House of Reps, House of Senate, presidency, just name it, people who are in government, just say, oh, they are in government, and are they up to, what am I even saying? Are they, okay, fine, let's even say, are they up to 50,000? Across board, political appointees, people who are in government, are they up to 50,000 compared to 200 million? You can't, you just have to do what the people say that you should do. And I just think that the government of the day is biting much more than it can chew. For now, I think that the dividends of the so-called removal of fuel subsidy that happened on day one of this government coming into power should have started yielding fruits. But here we are, still talking about this humongous, horrendous economy that has made people poorer. More than 89, or what am I saying? More than 125 million Nigerians are in multi-dimensional poverty. And then the government of the day is telling you that things will get better. Things will get better. Anyways, the rant, frankly, is not even about the economy. On another day we'll do economy. The rant was actually about the traffic gridlock. I just thought that some of these things, these guys still listen. They are in government. They know the implications of doing something that the populace don't like, the greater good of the people, don't want. So I just thought that we could do better and also apply these things in other places. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. See you guys on the next one. Cheers.